Your cat watched you open that drawer. 3 weeks ago, at 7:42 in the evening. She remembers. In 2019, researchers at the University of Lincoln in England did something nobody had tried before. They put cats and their owners in a room, gave the owner a snack, and watched. The cats didn't beg. They didn't meow. They tracked the angle of the human's hand, the timing of the bite, the location of the wrapper. And hours later, when the human was nowhere near the kitchen, the cats walked directly to the drawer the snack had come from. Every single time. The scientists wrote in their notes that the cats appeared to be running, quote, predictive behavioral models of human food acquisition. Translation? Your cat has a spreadsheet, and you are on it. I know how that sounds. We like to think of our cats as warm little potatoes who occasionally fall off the couch. But after 3 months in the research, I have to tell you something uncomfortable. Your cat is not who you think she is. Today, I'm walking you through 7 signs that your cat is operating at a level of intelligence most pet owners have no idea about. From the silent calculations she runs when you walk in the door, to the personalized vocabulary she has built just for you. But pay very close attention to sign 4. Because what scientists found at Atlanta's Oakland Cat Project in 2022 will make you look at every ignore your cat ever gave you completely differently. Welcome back to House Cat Heart. Let's decode the mind behind the whiskers. Sign 1. The manipulation protocol. Quick experiment. Walk into your kitchen right now. Don't say a word. I'll wait. Did your cat appear? Did she sit by the food bowl? Did she meow exactly once at exactly the volume that makes you turn around? That wasn't a coincidence. That was a protocol. Behavioral scientists at the University of Sussex call this strategic conditioning. It's the process by which cats build a custom-tailored behavioral program for each human they live with. And here's the part that should genuinely shock you. Cats don't use the same tactics on everyone in the household. The Sussex team found the same cat in the same home would meow differently at the wife than at the husband. Softer pitch for the person who melts at high tones, sharper meows for the person who responds to urgency. They had been running A and B tests on the people in their lives, quietly, over months, figuring out which buttons to push, on whom, at what time of day. So if you've ever thought, why does she only do that to me? The answer is simple. Because it works on you, and she knows it. Sign 2. The Object Permanence Masterclass. In developmental psychology, there's a concept called object permanence. It's the understanding that things still exist when you can't see them. Human babies don't develop this until around 8 months old. A cat develops it before she leaves the litter box, months earlier. Here's what that means in practice. When you walk into a closed room, your cat does not think you have evaporated. She thinks the human is now temporarily inaccessible. There's a difference. And so she sits, perfectly composed, outside that door. Sometimes for 20 minutes, sometimes for 2 hours. She isn't waiting in confusion. She is waiting with a plan. But it goes deeper. Researchers at Kyoto University in 2021 hid a treat behind a barrier, then moved it without the cat seeing. The cats didn't search where the treat had been hidden. They searched where it should have ended up, based on the trajectory of the experimenter's hand. They were doing physics in their heads. When your cat finds you in a room you thought was private, that isn't magic. That isn't even instinct. That is a 3-dimensional spatial map of your home, updated in real time by an animal who happens to also fit inside a shoebox. Sign 3. The cost-benefit analysis of your voice. A team at the University of Tokyo did a study in 2013 that changed how we understand cats. They played recordings of 3 different voices to house cats, 3 strangers, and the cat's actual owner. Speaking the cat's name, the results were stunning. Cats reliably recognized their owner's voice over strangers. Their pupils dilated, their ears rotated, their tails twitched. The recognition was unmistakable. But here's the part that became famous. Even when the cats clearly recognized their owner calling them, more than 70% of the cats made the conscious choice to not respond. This is where cats earn their reputation for being aloof. But aloof is the wrong word. The accurate word is selective. Every time you call your cat, she runs a calculation. Is there food on the table? Is this likely to be a forced cuddle? Did the last time you used this tone end with a vet visit? If the expected reward doesn't outweigh the cost of getting up from a warm spot, she stays put. Maybe an ear flick, maybe a slow blink. That isn't laziness. That is cognitive control. And it puts her in a category of intelligence that very few species share with us. Sign 4. The Atlanta study that changed everything. This is the one I told you to wait for. I promised. Now I deliver. In 2022, a research team running the Oakland Cat Project in Atlanta, Georgia, set up what looked like a simple experiment. They gathered 50 house cats and their owners. They had each owner record themselves saying 4 things: the cat's name, a neutral word, a made-up nonsense word, and the name of another cat who lived in the same household. Then they played all 4 recordings to each cat in random order, measuring brain activity, pupil response, and behavior. The cats reacted strongest to their own names, second strongest to the other household cat's name, and barely at all to the neutral or nonsense words. But here is what stopped the entire field cold. The cats recognized the other cat's name. They knew the names of the other cats they lived with. They had been listening this whole time while you talked to the other animals in your home, building a roster. Think about what that means. Your cat doesn't just know her name. She knows your husband's name, your son's name, the dog's name, the name of the cat who passed away 2 years ago. She has been mapping your entire household, person by person, for years. While you thought she was sleeping in the sun, that isn't pet behavior. That's surveillance. Sign 5. Hypothesis testing in real time. Drop a toy under a heavy piece of furniture and watch. A less intelligent animal gives up after 30 seconds. Your cat enters a state that looks, to a trained eye, like the scientific method. She tries the left paw, fail. She moves around to the other side, tries a pry motion, fail. She lies flat, drops her shoulder, extends one leg as far as it will go, fail. Then, and this is the part that astonishes researchers who study cat cognition, she stops. She looks up. She makes eye contact with you. And she meows. She is recruiting a tool. The tool is you. This is documented behavior. Animal cognition labs at Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest filmed this pattern hundreds of times. Cats systematically eliminate failed approaches, then enlist the most useful available resource, often the human standing nearby. They have understood, somewhere along the line, that human hands can do things cat paws cannot. So they ask. A cat who keeps coming back to a problem for days isn't being stubborn. She is iterating. She is debugging. She is doing what your software engineer does, quietly. Sign 6. The personalized language, built just for you. Did you know that adult cats almost never meow at other cats? In the wild, between adults, meowing is essentially non-existent. Hisses, growls, purrs, yes. The meow? No. The meow, the way it lives in your house, is a language your cat invented specifically for humans. Not humans in general. For you. Listen carefully tomorrow. There is the sharp, insistent meow that means food. The quieter, rising chirp when you walk in the door. The trill when you sit on the couch. The questioning meow when you've been gone for hours. Every one of those is custom built. She tested those sounds on you, watched which ones got the response she wanted, and refined them. Researchers call this the cooperative breeder hypothesis. The theory is that cats reverse-engineered human emotional response by trial and error, the way a startup founder reverse-engineers a customer. Your cat has been A and B testing her vocalizations on you for the entire length of your relationship. What you hear today is the optimized version, after thousands of iterations. She is not talking to you. She is selling. The conversion rate is excellent. Sign 7. Routine mapping and the 3 a.m. patrol. Your cat knows what time it is, without a clock, without a phone. Circadian research published in 2020 by the Royal Veterinary College in London found that cats build a temporal map of their humans' behavior. They know you reach for your keys at 8:15 on weekdays. They know when your work calls happen. They know your bedtime, your wake time, the exact moment you start the dishwasher each night. This is why your cat is already waiting at the door before you reach for the handle. Why she shows up in the kitchen exactly when you do, like she just happened to be passing by. She didn't happen. She predicted. But here is the part that gets eerie. That 3 a.m. behavior. The sudden sprint across the room. The staring at a corner where there is, apparently, nothing. The slow walk along the perimeter of the bedroom while you're trying to sleep. We've called them zoomies. We've called them weird. What they actually are is a patrol. Cats are crepuscular. Their natural activity peaks at dawn and dusk. In the deep middle of the night, when nothing is moving, your cat is doing what her ancestors did on the savannah. She is walking the perimeter, checking the entrances, making sure the soft, oblivious human in the bed is still safe. That isn't a glitch in her programming. That is the programming. You aren't her owner. You are her colony. The final sign. What no scientist will ever measure. Here's what I came back to. After 3 months of reading studies, after the Tokyo Voice paper, after the Atlanta Name Project. The most intelligent thing your cat has ever done has nothing to do with object permanence or hypothesis testing. The most intelligent thing your cat has ever done is choose you. Out of every variable in her environment, every other human she could have bonded with, she chose to let her guard down with you. She chose to sleep with her belly exposed in your home. She chose to greet you at the door. She chose, of all the warm spots in this world, your lap. That isn't dependence. That isn't even affection. It is the highest level decision a strategic mind can make. A cat doesn't fall in love by accident. She runs the numbers. Then she invests. You weren't picked because she had no choice. You were picked because, after extensive analysis, you passed. So here's what I want you to do. Tonight, when your cat walks in and sits near you, don't reach for her, don't pet her, don't speak. Just look at her. Slowly close your eyes and slowly open them. Watch what she does. What she gives you back is not a habit. It is a contract, renewed daily by the smartest animal in your house, which, statistically speaking, is probably not you. I'm House Cat Heart, and I will see you in the next one.